So here's the sad thing about these movies now. I was talking to Sam and I said, man, I haven't walked out and said, man, that was a good Halloween movie since 2002, Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes
And
doing
that's not
karate.
even good. That's
That's
guilty.
sad.
The thing is, you should have never said that because they're never a good movie.
No. I said
H2O. I
I
like
came
H2O.
out and say I didn't see H2O in theaters. That's the thing.
Mm.
I saw Resurrection, so that was like the first Halloween movie I saw in theaters. So at the time, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." Now I enjoyed it. I personally thought it was good.
You know,
Now-
and you know what? And you know what? No, okay, because you guys are going. Well, not you guys. Tasha, you got to forgive it because that's that time. Like when you're watching it at that time, it doesn't seem as bad as it is when you watch it now. Like
You
it's
talking to me?
yeah. For which one was it with Busta Rhymes?
Resurrection.
It's bad now, but I could see it being cool watching it back then when it came out.
No,
I can see it though.
It's a slasher movie. You go, like you said, slasher movies are
You
for a
do.
particular audience. You go there to get
But then
scared.
you got to
That
think
doesn't
this
mean
way
it's good.
too.
You just go for the fun.
No. I'll never say it's good. I'm just saying
Even
the
for that
judgment
time.
wouldn't be as harsh. I wouldn't come out like, man, this shit was horrible.
But you got to remember this. I watched it like as a kid, thinking like all of them horror movies were the same when they're not. There's a lot of other ones that are better.
Yeah.
Not. Watching it today, it's like just cut out the first 15 minutes of the movie. I don't think it'll get that much shit because the first 15 minutes is different than the rest of the movie. Like they didn't really need it in there
Mm-hmm.
when they kill off what's her name? Spoiler alert, who hasn't seen it, Laurie Strode. So
Doesn't matter.
that
She came
kinda
back to life.
People don't like about that. Yeah, and I also like that one and Part 5 get a lot of shit, but I enjoy them. They're entertaining slasher films, just like the fourth one. So I think I've gone back to rewatch them so much that when I see the new ones, I say fuck them because I've seen it before, just better. But other people haven't seen the like 5, 6 like I have, a Resurrection. So they're seeing it, and I think they like it because it's something new.
Yeah, and I think that plays a part too. They don't know. They haven't been around.
Yeah.
For the other, I literally seen somebody post something today. It said, it was like animation from the '90s, and then compared to, and then they put the Marvel shit up for today. And it's like it looks like the animation regressed to where like they were trying in the '90s, but now they kind of like fuck it.
Yeah. Well, the only time I forgive a film, like you ever see like they go back and like, ooh, the fucking graphics in this are really bad. They're not that
Matrix.
good. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. it probably won't hold up when it comes to graphics, but I forgive it because I actually enjoyed it. That's not the only thing that makes the movie good. So that's where I can
Yeah,
but graphics at certain times.
I always like even with that one movie you guys like when I said I didn't like this shit, it's like even with that I can see it coming out at that time and being all right. You know what I mean? Because there's a certain feel for those movies. The Idle Hands. So it's like even though I'm watching it for the first time in this time period, and I'm like it's bullshit, I could still see how it would have been cool back then. Like I could see how it would have been all right watching it when it came out. Because of the time, the way the movies were made at that time, that's what it was. Like it wasn't, they didn't know any better. Like the jokes were hidden, everything was working for that time.
But even today, they have these horror movies that are trying to be funny that are not funny. That like I can see Idle Hands being the type of film that'd be made today because every movie tries to be funny. Like even the Halloween films try to have comedy in it, and it's fucking stupid. Where Idle Hands, I think the tone in that is better.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, but
No,
like
don't.
I can see the beginning of Idle Hands, straight up horror film, and then as time goes on,
Make more
comedy.
sense.
What's up?
I said don't make more
The
sense.
humor in Idle Hands makes more sense than the humor in Halloween.
It's the same.
It is not.
No, it ain't. I'm just talking shit. I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Idle Hands is like something like I would watch every single Halloween. Like, oh man, you got to watch this. It's more like, hey, if you want to laugh, have a good time, just check it out. It's fun. Yeah, the reason why, I would say even though that time, but yet we're having all these movies where even like fucking Pet Sematary tries to be funny. The remake of Pet Sematary tries to be funny.
I never watched that.
Like, don't. Yeah, I will never forgive that fucking movie.
Yeah.
I will forgive the original one for like certain parts that may not hold up, but everything it makes up for everything else that's good in that film. But the remake, Fuck that.
I just feel like if it fucks up these horror movies. Okay, so Tasha, you just watched the Smile movie. Were there any parts where it's like you're supposed to laugh at this part?
No.
So it seems like a lot of scary movies now are trying to do that. They're looking for the laugh out loud moment when they should just fucking stop doing that. Just make the movie.
Yeah.
But the best laugh out loud moments are the moments you're not supposed to laugh at.
You know, it's funny. Double Toasted talked about Smile because Cal Penn is in it. And the guy from Double Toasted was like, people were expecting him to be like funny and goofy because he's Cal Penn. He's known as Kumar. So it's like people are at this point are going in looking for the laughs too.
I am not gonna keep running. I have to face it. Rose.
Smile. So I think with Scream, give us a cameo then. If you really want to hold on to these actors so bad, give us a cameo, but make it its own story. I don't think we would have judged it as harsh as we did if it was his own story. Like for the fact that they're like, he's back. These motherfuckers old as fuck. He's back. We're showing up. Their reasons for showing up were stupid. The whole imagining Billy as her dad was stupid. It's like once you attach all this extra shit that wasn't there before, it's like you took the reality out of the whole movie. So now it's like we're mad because you're not giving us the story that we love so much. So they should have just cut it off. Start a different way. Do a copycat on the East Coast somewhere. Make up a whole new story that has nothing to do with this one. If you wanted to be the scary face, it could be inspired by he saw what happened over there, so he's doing this over here. But once you attach it to that story, now it's like now we're judging you from that.
Yeah. Well, you can't help but think about those.
Yeah.
And I thought like the motivation for why the killers were doing it was the dumbest one out of all of them.
It didn't even make sense. It seemed like it literally seemed like they had an idea for a Scream version, and then they were like, okay, if you want to do the franchise, you got to attach it.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, well, what if she had a boyfriend and he happened to live where she lived and he knew this girl? Right. It's like it seemed like that part was freestyled, but they knew what they wanted to do with the movie.
This one girl who doesn't look like she can take on Dewey, but she did, even though she doesn't look like
do that motherfucker.
I was watching, like Sam saw it. He said he didn't care for it. I don't blame him. But like I was watching the scene again, not saying anything. I'm like, pay attention to the scene. Let me know what you feel.
But that is saying something though, Josh. But that is saying something. But I can't blame you because your frustration is there. You want him to see what you saw.
Make sure he sees it.
Yeah, but you can't pinpoint scenes. But I understand why you did it though.
Do you know where I get this from? Right? You know where I
get it from Sam?
Oh yeah. Certain things I would be getting away. He's all fucking bullshit. I'm like, yeah, right. No, that's where I got it from. So I had to like show him like, hey, I've learned what you taught me.
I think they should stop attaching them. I think really they should stop attaching. Make it a copycat movie. Fuck it. Yeah. But don't attach it.
But that's why I'm not seeing any other movies like Halloween. I'm like, keep on making them. I'm just gonna watch the original ones because
we're gonna watch the next one.
Oh, y'all gonna watch the next one?
You are too.
I'm gonna watch some spoiler alerts. I don't give a fuck about this series anymore.
Okay, so if we get on here and you say you haven't watched it, I'm gonna hype the shit out of this movie. Like it's the greatest scary movie I've ever seen in my life. Just to see you do that face.
Yeah,
just to see you do that face.
Y'all better be some great actors. Y'all better be some great actors because I'm like, I smell bullshit.
I mean, we do need something to watch between now and November, so we could do it in a couple weeks.
Unless I find something.
Y'all can do it. I'll watch the spoiler alerts. I'll watch everything so I can talk to you guys about it.
I literally don't want to watch this shit. But Friday, like I said, I'll watch it because Isaiah really wants to see it. I think Samaria likes it. So I'll watch it with them.
You have a reason to see it.
No, I don't.
You got to take the kids. They want to go see it, right?
I don't have to take them anywhere. You just said it's streaming.
Oh, you have to watch it with your kids. I ain't gotta watch
and they both have jobs. They can buy their own tickets. I can drop them off and pick them up. But I'm saying if we're watching it to review it, then I'll watch it.
Sam's gonna watch it. I'm gonna talk to him about it. I'm gonna review him because, and okay, they're making another Scream movie without Neve Campbell. So there's nobody in that series that like, oh, there's no reason for me to go back because I didn't give a fuck about all the characters that survived in the last one. Like you can kill them off, I wouldn't give a shit. I'm not saying they're bad, I don't care about them. So yeah, I truly feel like the people that keep on seeing this movie, like we talked about, want that same feeling that they just make excuses for all these new ones that are coming out. And I'm just kind of not on that. I'm not on that bandwagon.
But it's like we wouldn't want that feeling if they didn't give us that feeling. If they didn't use the old shit, then we would just be like, oh, they're making a new Scream. But it's like in the commercials, all you see is the old motherfuckers. It's like we got to see where the shit ends off, and then you give us the bullshit.
I mean, it's hard to like whatever like series or trilogy you like. You know, you go in hoping to like the film because you enjoyed all the other ones. So it's kind of hard to like. To me, if you go in, I think anybody can go in and just find any excuse to like a movie. Like I taught you, I always bring up how somebody would say the same damn scene over and over again, 5-minute scene over a 2-hour one. So you're telling me you like this one scene, holding on to that. But if I ask you what other scenes you like, you'll look at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Okay, well let me ask you: is there any example of a movie that was rebooted with the same movie but rebooted and telling its own story that was good? Have you ever had an example of that?
Like you talking like Batman Begins?
Dawn of the Dead.
That's right. Wait.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good one.
I think that's more of a remake than a reboot. And that one.
No. That's what I say. That's what I'm saying. Not necessarily a reboot. Like you take the. So if they just vaguely mention that this killer is doing what they did in Scream, but this is a completely different movie. No attachments to none of those old motherfuckers. This is a completely different movie. I think it would have been better off.
Kind of like how Dawn of the Dead did. It was like a
right
of the original one.
Right.
Same storyline, same setting, right? But there were things that were different.
Yeah, but like are you asking me of original movie that I liked or just
right? No, not you don't have to love it, but it's like you still appreciated it for being what it was.
But the remake was better.
Well, because because they did something different. They had zombies running in that one, but that's a small difference. I'm just saying as far as how the movie itself, like you like the original one and you like their new idea of doing it. Okay, I get what you're saying. Like it's like. Okay, so you made a remake, but you actually added something different. You actually did something.
It's your own imagination of it.
Yeah. If me personally thinking about Dawn of the Dead, the only thing is like they had a setup of staying in the mall, but the difference is they had them running like okay, and they didn't have 4 people in it. They had more people.
Right. No, what I'm saying is all of that's irrelevant. I'm saying it's still the same premise. Like the idea is the same. But they didn't attach it like.
And the title's the same.
So can you?
Yeah, they didn't attach it. They didn't attach it to.
So can you guys give me an example so I can have a better understanding?
I just said Dawn of the Dead.
It's Dawn of the Dead. That's an example.
I'm not thinking about it because.
Did you like the original Dawn of the Dead?
Wait, Tasha. So I'm saying the difference was they were running. That's the only difference in it. But was there anything else? If that's your example, what else was it besides the running that was different that they did in the movie? If that was a
no, that's differences. That's not important.
The same movie.
Okay, no. Okay, look. So, Josh, did you like the original Dawn of the Dead?
Nah, I didn't care for it.
Oh, you didn't like that one?
Not like. Have you guys seen it?
I don't remember.
Wait, hold on, wait. So you're saying, but you can't use that example. Like you're saying, it's a good remake.
I'm not. That was an example Tasha brought. I asked you if you knew any examples.
No, I threw it out there. I was just trying to get it going to help you think of one. If Dawn of the Dead's not it, is there another one?
Is there another one? Yeah. Where you're saying there's another one where I liked it. Does it have to be a remake or a reboot?
Not even necessarily. It's
okay,
like,
wait. So if that doesn't care, I'm gonna say Batman Begins. Can I use that?
But I haven't seen Batman Begins, so I don't know.
No, but I have. I have seen Batman and Batman Begins. Can I use that as in bringing back something that I'm familiar with, but you did something different to it? But if we're talking about,
you could do that with Spider-Man too.
Yeah. How about this? If we're talking about horror films, how about this? There's original one that I like, Nightmare on Elm Street. Love that film. The remake, bullshit.
Yeah.
But I did like an idea they had in that movie. The rest of the movie fucking sucks. But the other things I like was like micro naps where you're up for so long you can't tell if you're asleep or not. So there's a scene where she's walking through the store and it's flashing back between, the boiler room, which is like the main lair where you go and sleep in and Freddy's dreams. So it's kind of like flashing that back and forth. So I thought that was a good idea. It's like good ideas, but the story was like bullshit. So could that?
It's just what I'm saying is for the fact that so you're saying the story's bullshit, which I don't even remember.
Like
so, no, what I'm saying is had they attached that version to the original version, I think you would have hated it even more. You would have. I don't give a fuck what new ideas they came with. For the fact that you tried to continue what I already like into this bullshit, I think it would have been worse. I think your rating for it would have been even worse.
For the original one, you said?
Remake. So the point he's trying to make is Scream shouldn't have continued. It should have been a whole.
It should have been his own thing
based on the original, which is what Nightmare on Elm Street did.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
They took the same story from the original, but remade it. So he's saying they should have did that with Scream rather than continuing it.
Yeah, just detach it, make it his own thing.
That's a good example because you said that Nightmare on Elm Street was bullshit. So the Scream remake could have gone either way. It could have been better, or it could have been the same, or it could have been bullshit. But the fact is, they remade it instead of continuing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to know because
to sum it up for me, no matter if like you made a remake or continuation, like for me personally, I really don't care to where I personally feel even if you did do a continuation like Halloween's trying to do.
You mean a remake?
It's not a remake, it's a continuation of the original one. They're saying fuck all the other ones. So, but I don't think there's anything you could do. Like, it's like, why are we going into these movies? Like, I go into it be entertained. I'm not entertained. So, they're trying to have all these like cool ideas I don't give a fuck about.
But I'm saying that's the main problem is like the main problem when you don't just make a standalone or make your own idea is when we go in, we're thinking of what we already know from this storyline. So when we go in here, it's like, I don't give a fuck if everything else is amazing. From your mind, the storyline, like, that was bullshit that she came in and did this because I know back when this, it's like that's kind of like it's kind of like a weight on the story. Like, it doesn't matter how amazing this movie's going to be because I'm thinking of the storyline you tried to continue into this one. That doesn't make sense.
It needs to match.
So with Scream, I think if they would have just detached, I think if Scream was standalone, if Scream was standalone, no old characters, no continuing this story, I don't think we would have been as harsh as we were on it. Okay, perfect example.
So hold on, how about this? So with Scream 6 coming along, let me know if this was saying it. With Scream 6 that's coming along, it's gonna be a different killer, different characters, different stories.
I haven't made any predictions on anything. I'm saying our judgment for the one that just came out, it wouldn't have been as harsh if it was his own story. If they would have just I like the idea. Okay, so I like the idea from Scream when when what's the white guy with the red hair, when he's giving the breakdown of the copycat killer and he's giving all the reasons, all this shit. If this Scream was just based on that and they didn't bring Sydney back, they didn't bring back the reporter, they didn't bring back Dewey. If this movie was just, we happen to be in this city, there's a copycat killer here, he's inspired by fucking whatever his name is without the fucking hallucinations. If this is a standalone movie, I don't think we would have judged it as hard as we were because we would have walked in with no expectations. But on the preview, you see Sydney getting the call, you see Dewey getting the call. So now it's like we're going back for the story that we already love. So that's what brings more bullshit on top of what they made.
See, but like I've been hearing this to where because it always comes back to expectations, right? To where you're saying that we like the other ones, but my expectations right now are just kind of are the lowest at the point. It doesn't matter if I like the old school movies or not. uh, it's one of those things where I feel like you want to go in. Seems like people want to go in liking the movie, so they're trying to convince themselves they don't have any expectations. To where, all right, how about this? When you guys go into a movie, what are you looking for? What are you trying to get out of it? Like, why are you going
this conversation before?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have like ask again, like.
So the thing is, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so you guys liked Batman with fucking I'm gonna end it right here. This is perfect example. You guys love Batman, whatever the fuck his name is, the one I think is the worst.
Who loves Batman?
Christian Bale.
Batman.
Well, not okay, not you, Tasha. But what I'm saying is, people love Christian Bale Batman.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch the new Batman, it's its own story, but it's still Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's two different stories, but it's still Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we go on with fresh eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We know what the story is. We know it. So go back to Scream. We know what Ghostface Mask is. We know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
We know the premise of the story. We know how the shit happens. But if they didn't attach it to what we already knew,
okay,
we will be watching this movie as a new version of what we already love. Therefore, we're not looking at the storyline and being like, that don't make no fucking sense. Why did he? We're not doing that because this is a whole new movie.
Mm-hmm.
With the same premises, but it's a whole new movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying our judgment wouldn't have been as harsh.
So are you saying that we wouldn't liked it, but we wouldn't be as harsh?
Well, we don't know.
I don't know if we would have liked it.
We would have had a different.
Yeah. Okay. So no, that's okay. That's a good thing. To where if we just watch this random movie where the guy comes in as a Ghostface, we didn't watch. Are you saying we didn't watch the original 4 movies? It's its own thing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the people that made it, if they didn't attach it, so they purposely attached it to that for us, for our audience. They could have easily just made it and put it out, but it's like we still want that fan base that they've already established because we're already invested in the original story.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't attach, that's all I'm saying is if we didn't attach it, we wouldn't have solved it. Because our immediate problems, besides the hallucinating Billy, our immediate problem was with the main characters and the shit that was happening with the main character. That was all of our complaints. Is like, Dewey did this, Sidney did this. That's where our complaints were.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's kind of hard to say, man. I guess we'll never find out because. But I get. But
I fucked it up by that.
Now, it is, yeah. But with me, I try to like judge a movie on its own, even if like, okay, I'll say this about the Scream movies. Every Scream movie is its own like movie. You know what I mean? It's continuation, but it's its own thing. There's connections to it, but it's never like, how do I put it? It's never like there's a cliffhanger at part 1 and then they continue with.
No, there's no cliffhanger, but it's still the same story.
It's still the same.
Yeah,
it continues.
It's still the same, but
it's Sidney Prescott in high school, then it's Sidney Prescott in college, then it's Sidney Prescott as an adult. So it's continuing.
Mm-hmm.
A good example is Final Destination.
Okay.
Every movie,
right, where it's always its own movie.
Yeah,
it's its own movie, but it's connected somehow. So
yeah,
right.
So the only thing is that okay, it's connected. The Scream 5 is connected to the Scream series, right? And the story's bullshit. But who's to say that if it, like you're saying, who's to say that if it wasn't connected to this trilogy that we like, we might have not been as harsh on it and might have enjoyed it? Is that what you're getting at?
I'm saying our eyes wouldn't have been so focused on looking for the bullshit.
We went in.
The
movie.
Were you a fan? I was a fan of that series already when we went to go watch it. I was already a fan of the Scream series.
Yeah.
So when you tell me this movie is a part of that series, I'm going in with the same. It's like it's like if you're watching Breaking Bad, you're a fan of every season, and then this new season they got this goofy ass shit happening, but it's still part of the Breaking Bad series. You know what the fuck is this? Like it's the same shit. Like it's like, why do you just deep dive like I don't give a fuck if I'm a fan. This is bullshit. But if this wasn't Breaking Bad, if this was somebody else's story copying what he saw, yeah. Well, that's different. If there was a new Walter White who's copying his steps off Walter White, we'll be watching with fresh eyes. We won't necessarily be like, fuck did Walter White just do? Because you're not even thinking about him necessarily. It's like this is a new story.
Like Walter White didn't do
Yeah,
that. Or
I
I don't
can see
remember when
that.
he did that. Or
Yeah.
that.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
I think they fucked up by connecting it. If they were going to give it to somebody new and try this whole new thing, don't connect it to what we already know. That you can't do that.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, you don't know, but it's
You never know. Yeah.
I mean, no, I've talked to people that just love, like I mentioned this before, just love the series no matter what you throw at them. So you'll have those people that like it no matter what, but us who see it, well, I don't know. I mean, like Scream, how can you, like, with slashers? They're so fucking simple to make. Like when you make it more than what it is,
they are. I say they are, but Scream was different.
It was different in the way that it was more self-aware of, like, it was the first time you had a slasher film that other movies exist, like Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what was cool about it.
Because it was based in reality.
Yeah. So I think 4 kind of did a good job of, like, referencing because each movie, like the original one talks about original horror films, and the second one talks about sequels, trilogies, whatever. And then now this one is it was getting on the fact that, like, for Halloween, it's like supposed to be part 2 to the original one, even though it's called Halloween 2018. So I thought they did a good job with connecting that, because each movie talks about, sequels, trilogy, whatever number it is on that one. So I thought they did a good job. What they were to me is fans that had an opportunity to do stuff. I would do it if I thought I had the talent. Another movie of Scream, because they're gonna make it no matter what. Even West.
They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it.
They're gonna make it. Yeah, they're gonna make it. Yeah. And the last good horror movie I really saw, I can't even think of it right now. That's the thing. So right now, I have no expectations going into
one. But the fucked up thing is, the people that didn't like Scream are the people our age.
Yeah.
People under us love that.
Yeah. No, I mean that makes completely sense. No, I mean maybe people don't like the old school Disney movies, which are the best ones. They meant like Frozen and Encanto, but it makes sense because this is their.
Wait, Frozen and Encanto are good movies.
You saying they don't like the old ones.
But I'm saying, like,
oh, you saying they don't like the old ones?
They don't like the old ones.
If they don't.
Oh,
I'm saying,
okay.
like, if they don't, because what you're saying is, maybe like your kids don't care for the original Scream movies, but they like the new one. Kind of like I can get why they might like.
Oh no, they didn't like that shit.
No, I'm saying if they did.
No, I get what you're saying. Though. I get what you're saying. Though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I go in not wanting to hate a movie, not wanting to like a movie. I go in like, I'm gonna give you a shot. My thing is, why are you making this sequel? Why is it? Why are you making this movie? What's the point of this movie? Why should I like this movie?
Right. It's for me. It's like if you make the sequel, my mind is already there. If you say this was inspired by, then my mind is not there. Then I'm just watching it.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't really care for the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, and they keep on trying to make them. And I like the remake. Nobody else likes them because they like the original one, but I like the remake because there's a lot more going on in it.
You know why that movie's always gonna work? I don't give a fuck how many times they remake it, because it's based on a true story. Once you can say based on a true story, it's gonna work every fucking time.
Take this out. It's not
based on a
true story. It's not.
No, I said when you can say.
Oh, okay.
You can say. It doesn't. I learned it from fucking Will Ferrell. If one thing happened in the movie that's real, you can say it's based on true event.
Yeah, you can say Colonel Activity is based on a true story because it's
found footage. But what I'm saying is, for the fact that you can say that, it already places in the mind of the audience. This shit could really happen.
Happened. Yeah.
So that's why Texas Chainsaw Massacre, no matter how many times they remake it, it's gonna always work.
Oh, because they have the thing of it's based on a true story.
For people you can't say that about a Freddy Krueger or
you can't say none of that shit. You could, but you got to be real creative for that shit.
Yeah, because in Texas Chainsaw, I don't think they ever shoot them or try to kill them. In like my Halloween and Friday the 13th, they get shot millions of times and come back and resurrected.
Yeah, it's all fantasy.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what actually is a cool show? Chucky. That's actually a cool show.
I watched like 4 episodes. And I was into it. But I think I think after the 4th episode, it got to a slow point, which I fell off. But I'll go back to. It wasn't bad. Like it wasn't bad.
No. And here's the thing, I like the last 2 movies, but if they would have got rid of them and put like the series as like 6 or 5 or 7, I thought this one was actually more enjoyable than the last ones that came out.
And you know why you like this, Josh? Because it's not attached to the movies. Do you see what I'm saying?
It is. Lamar, it's canon to all. If you watch the movies, if you watch the show, they go back and show you all the movies from 1 through 7 that they're all connected. It's connected. It's a continuation.
Did you just say 1 through 7?
I didn't even realize there was 7.
Yeah,
Seed of Chucky, Bride of Chucky.
Yeah,
I think I stopped at Bride of Chucky. That was it for me.
Yeah.
Once he had a baby, I was like, that's it.
Continuation from all the movies, and I went in kind of like, but it still did a good job at like making me interested in new characters, bringing back old characters. The only thing I don't like is they kind of do a character from 6 and 7 that I like, and they kind of do her dirty. They kind of just throw her in for like just to be fucked with, and I was like, that's not really cool. But I enjoyed the first season. I'm gonna check out the second season. So I think they succeeded at bringing in Chucky, but with a new story, with all the characters we're familiar with. Not on that Cobra Kai level, but to where I'm like, okay, I'm cool with what you did. I think this story, what you're doing, is cool.
Are you guys gonna watch Hellraiser?
No, I'm done.
Probably. Is it a movie or a show?
I think it's a show.
It's a movie.
It's a movie?
Yeah.
I think time plays a big part in it too. I think the more time that passes when you bring a sequel or something in the mix, because unless you're familiar with it, because like Cobra Kai versus Karate Kid, if you didn't watch it or you don't remember it, you're not familiar with it, you can watch the show and not connect it completely to the first or to the originals. Granted, they do give you flashbacks and stuff like that, but I think it's easier to swallow when so much time has passed. Like Top Gun Maverick, there was so much time between that worked too. So Scream was kind of soon, and then I think that plays a part too.
I think there's been movies or shows where you could be excited for it and you like the original ones and it still ended up good. So I think, with Scream, it's not even a rare case. It's like 50-50 to where you have your movies where maybe they should have been standalone, or you have your movies like, hey, I'm glad they decided to continue the story. It just depends on the movie. Like sometimes it's just that the people who made it, did they make it good enough? I'm at a point where it's like, hey, fuck it. What's up? If you made a shit movie, it's not. I don't think it depends on the movie. I think it depends on the writing. Yeah, the writing. Like once the
writer starts feeling himself.
Yeah.